this is Kara, aka the Principal Painter, and tonight I have a whip and chat for you. We are working, and by we, I mean Brandy of Mystery of Diamonds and I are working on Sweet Tooth. I've laid a few drills down, but I'm gonna talk with you while I work on her. Brandy and I are doing a collab called DP, #DP Sweet December. And everyone is welcome to join us. We are very flexible in this particular collab. You can be working on something winter, something Christmas, or something sweet to you. So we've left it wide open. So if you want to participate in the multiple collabs going on in December, that is fine with us. It's so funny. People keep messaging me going, is this okay? Is this okay? And I'm like, I'm going to say yes every time. So yes, anything, again, winter, Christmas, or sweet to you. So we're working on Sweet Tooth. You are more than welcome to work on Sweet Tooth if you've got it. I love her. She's fantastic. Again, I'm so glad I got her. I missed her the first time, got her the second time, Diamond Art Club, put it in their shop. She has 33 colors and she is a 56 by 76. So I have to get moving on her because, again, to get her done in a month, and I've got a couple more collabs coming up in January. Just want to make sure that, you know, again, I'm doing my partner and bestie, Brandy, well. So tonight, I guess I want to talk about just, you know, Christmas, things that have happened to me in my life, and I will be talking to you about just some things, you know, regarding Christmas, Christmas traditions, Christmas celebrations, all that, because again, I love Christmas. We have started decorating. We are not finished. We've got to get the tree up. It's been hard to get in the Christmas spirit this Christmas because of everything going on, but we are going to get the tree up. I have a pre-lit tree. Love pre-lit trees. They are awesome. And so we will get that up this week after I get my whip and chats up and my videoing done. Again, I love Christmas. It's a very special time of year for me. And, you know, when I think on Christmases past, my parents made Christmas so magical and special to me. And I know they work their tails off. I really do. I was, you know, again, a believer in Santa until until probably an age where people were looking at me like, okay, seriously? But I did. And it's because my parents, again, tried to make things magical and fun and special for me. I remember one Christmas, and again, you know, when you get to be my age, I'm 52, so, you know, I'm 52. But I just remember this one Christmas, and it was when Scratch and Sniff books were out, and I don't know if anyone remembers the Scratch and Sniff books, but, you know, you read the book, and there were different scents in the book, and you would scratch the stickers and smell them, and they smelled like, you know, chocolate, pine, whatever. But my very favorite Scratch and Sniff book when I was younger was Detective Arthur on the Scent. And it was a book where it was like a basset hound, possibly, but he was a detective. And I just thought detective work was amazing and thought that was what I wanted to do. So my dad, and I know he, again, because I could tell his handwriting, he made for me a detective kit. And I got it from Santa, and oh my gosh, it had stamps in it. It had all kinds of stuff. Okay, Harbor Freight. They're not cooperating. Sorry. All right, there we go. So he created this detective kit for me, and he got like a doctor's kit and put in stamps and stickers and a magnifying glass and all this stuff so I could be a detective. And that was one of the most special Christmas gifts I ever got. It was, I just thought it was fantastic. And again, that's why Christmas was so magical for me, was because of what my parents did for me. All right, the only thing about Harbor Freight kits is they get caught in the rim and they spill out. All right, go, go, go. So yeah, that was one gift that I got that was so exciting. The other gift that I got that I absolutely loved as a child, I'll never forget, was an Easy Bake Oven. Anybody remember Easy Bake Ovens? Oh my gosh. I absolutely fell in love with my Easy Bake Oven, and they came with little cakes you could put in the Easy Bake Oven. And then I started like making up stuff I could put in the Easy Bake Oven. I would put like Ritz crackers and cheese in the Easy Bake Oven, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that was awesome. Then there was Baby Alive. Oh my gosh. She drank a bottle, she ate, she peed, she pooped, you'd have to change her diaper. That was really fun. Again, my parents just made sure that our Christmas, my sister and I, had a magical Christmas. There was a lot of time where my dad would go to a store because, of course, you know, kids want the most popular toys on the market. And so my dad stood in a line and fought off a woman for a Cabbage Patch doll for my sister. I wanted a Paddington Bear. He stood in line for like 3 hours for this Paddington Bear. And my dad is like the thrill of the hunt. He loved going to stores and getting us exactly what we wanted. It was kind of like that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jingle All the Way. That was him. He would literally shop till he dropped. And again, it was the thrill of the hunt for him. It was so fun. And he'd always get us, you know, exactly what we wanted. And so then I became him when I had kids. Transformers. Oh my gosh. My children wanted Transformers worse than anything in the world. I had shopped everywhere in the city of Houston. No Transformers. They were all gone. And my secretary at the time, her husband, basically was, you know, he traveled around. He was in sales, and he traveled around. And he knew, and my secretary knew, that my kids, God, wanted Transformers so bad. And so he stops in a little town at a Walmart, and he calls my secretary and says, "Put Kara on the phone." So my secretary puts me on the phone. He's like, "I have found Bumblebee. I'm like, buy them, I'll pay you back." Oh my gosh. My kids were so thrilled that Christmas because, again, couldn't find them. They were just gone everywhere. And again, I think that's what makes Christmas so magical for kids. And, you know, it's been tough being in the Christmas spirit this year, but I'm getting into it. I really am. And I'm like, yep, we're going to put up a tree. I'm not going to let what is going on deter me from having Christmas spirit and really making sure my kids get what they want. And as you get older, it's so funny because when I was younger, it was all about the presents. I mean, what was I going to get for Christmas? What do I want? Whatever. And I would always marvel at my parents because they would sit around and just go, "Oh, it's all about the kids. It's all about what they want." And I'm like, how can you do this? It's all about the presents. Come on. And sure enough, as I got older, you know, again, the magic of Christmas is about the kids. And I tell Marlon all the time, I get everything I want when I want it. So I really don't need gifts. And this year, of course, you know, there are 2 retreats going on, and I have signed up for both of them. I'm on the planning committee for one of them. And I just told Marlon, I said, that's what I want for Christmas is the retreats, because I'm going to have to fly to one, and I'll drive to one, and you know, there's going to be an expense, of course, incurred with both, because you know, there just obviously is. And I said, let's just buy for the kids. So that is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait for those retreats. Whoops, that one went on upside down. So how was everyone's day today? My day at work was awesome, except for the end of the day. And it really wasn't a big deal, but it was so funny. My secretary comes in and says, there's an angry parent on the phone. She's demanding to speak to you. And I said, okay, put her on. My child is a basketball player. I got a call from your school yesterday stating that grades weren't put in time and she wouldn't be able to play, and I'm just really angry. And I talked to your assistant principal, and I just need to know what's going on with this, and you know, how could this happen? And I said, hang on, ma'am, let me go find, you know, my assistant principal. She said it was a female assistant principal. I said, there's only one of those, so let me go find her. And so I go find my assistant principal, and she's like, I never had that conversation. I don't know what you're talking about. Then I go into the coach of the basketball team, and she said, I don't have the child whose name that is on the basketball team. There's no one here. And so we have a system called eSchool in my district, and so I went in there, and I'm like, there is no child by this name at my school. So I finally got on the phone with the mom and said, do you know what school you're talking to? You're talking to, you know, my school. And she was like, no, I didn't mean to call you. I meant to call another school. And I'm like, problem solved. Yay. I'm like, okay, I hope your problem gets fixed, ma'am. Sorry, bye. But I had run all over the school. The coaches were freaking out, not knowing who talked to who, and I'm going, I'll get back to you. So I had to go back and tell everybody, wrong school. So again, it has been a day. What other Christmas gifts did I get? Oh, Light Bright. I loved Light Bright and got it for Christmas one Christmas. I'm just trying to think of memorable Christmas gifts. That one I loved. What else did I get as a child at Christmas? Let me think. I got a rocking reindeer one year in when we lived in Bangkok, Thailand. So it was kind of a Thai deer. I loved it. Oh, the Barbie van. I was a Barbie girl. I really was. Loved Barbie, and my poor dad would have to sit up and put together the Barbie townhouse, the Barbie van, everything Barbie. I got a Chrissy doll. Chrissy was a doll. I don't know if anyone knows who Chrissy is, but I loved Chrissy. My mother was a seamstress. As you know, my mother was a big crafter. My mother made all of Chrissy's clothes, so Chrissy was very well outfitted, and she was a doll where you could style her hair, you could you pushed her belly button and her hair got longer, and you twisted a crank on her back and her hair got shorter, so you could have her hair any kind of length you wanted, and you could style it. And then I had all these beautiful clothes. I got that one Christmas. That was fun. Oh, well, I also collected Madame Alexander dolls. I had a doll collection that my mother started for me, and I would get a new doll every Christmas. My mother had these cabinets made for me with sliding glass, so you could see all of the dolls that I had, and every Christmas I'd get a new one. And Madame Alexander was one of my favorites, and my mother would get me one each year, and we'd display them. I had Snow White, Alice in Wonderland, but my very favorite Madame Alexander doll was Victoria. I loved on that doll so much. She was absolutely beautiful. She did not go in the cabinet that my mom had made for my doll collection. She was my doll. So Victoria was very, very special, and my best friend, you know, my school, school best friend at the time got her as well. And so we both had our Victoria dolls, and we took them everywhere. Then I got a hippity hoppity, and I loved my hippity hoppity, and I hippity hoppitied and split my head open, but that was okay. That all worked out fine. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, this was funny. So when I was in high school, I went to elementary in Bangkok. I went to junior high in Williamsburg, Virginia, as you all know, and then came back to Texas for high school. And everyone at my high school, it was an upper socioeconomic group, and so designer stuff was in. Polos and Calvin Klein jeans and Gucci bags, and and my parents were like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is extravagant. You're not going to have 50 polos and a real Gucci bag, because at the time they were expensive, and now they're even more expensive. But I remember getting a Gucci bag for Christmas, and I could tell it was a total fake. And I'm sorry, I was a snob at the time. I'm not anymore. But I was like, I'm not carrying this. This is fake. I want a real Gucci bag. And my dad was like, well, you better get yourself a job, girl, because we're not doing that. And so I went to find a job. And at the time, I was a 9th grader, so basically lied about my age, got a job at a children's clothing store. And my boss was the nicest person ever. She paid me $25. I worked every Saturday. And every Saturday, I would put money aside to save up for a real Gucci bag. And at the time, the bag I wanted, and this will tell you how long ago this is, because Gucci has gone up big time, but it was a $275 bag. And I worked and worked and worked, saved up the money, and told my father, okay, I've got enough money. Take me to the store. So we went to a shishi store to get my real Gucci bag, because the Christmas fake bag I wasn't carrying. Walked into the store, found my bag, so excited, went up to the register, and I'd totally forgotten about tax. Well, tax on, $275 is a lot, and my dad was like, oh, looks like you don't have enough. And I'm looking at my dad going, I was about to cry. And he was like, don't worry about it, I'll get the tax. But I treasured that bag because I had worked for it. I'd earned it. I'd saved for it. And I think my dad was very proud that day of me because, again, I'd worked, and I figured out, well, if you want nice things, you're going to have to work. So ever since that time, I've always been working. I've always had a job, and when I had kids, it was funny. I'd always have conversations with my ex-husband about, well, maybe I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And he would always look at me and go, those are the key words, Kara. You will stay home. You are not going to go out. You're not going to go shopping. You will stay home. And I thought, well, that's not going to be fun. So I've just always continued to work. And I do. I love my job. But we've got the Christmas decorations up at school. So that's fun. And I am doing something with my staff. I started this tradition when I was an elementary principal. And I continue to do it with my staff because it spoils them a little bit. And I will tell you, my staff needs spoiling right now because they are working their tails off with these blended classes and everything else. I went in to observe a teacher today, and I've done 4 observations this week. And every single time I go in, I'll sit basically at the teacher's desk. Well, that's where their online class is. And when your principal walks in to observe you, speaking as a former teacher, I got completely nervous, felt like I needed to do everything. Well, these teachers are working so hard that every class that I've gone into thus far that is doing a blended class, meaning they've got kids online and they've got kids that are sitting in front of them. So I have basically gone in to observe teachers, and they're like, "Can you let kids in from the waiting room? Can you help me out?" I'm like, "Yes." And I'm like, they must be desperate when their principal comes in to observe them, and they're literally going, "Help!" And I do, and I don't mind at all. I'm glad I can give them a break. So I'm like, I'll let kids in from the waiting room. So-and-so has a question. It's this. So that's been fun. But so the 12 days of Christmas. We basically back up from Christmas break 12 days when we get back from Thanksgiving break, and we do something special for the teachers every day. And it's a lot of work, but they love it, and I will never stop doing it because it's something for them to look forward to every day leading up to Christmas. So today we had popcorn and sodas in the lounge, and I'll send them I write a poem every day about what's going on as far as the 12 days. So if we provide breakfast or lunch, they don't plan their lunch or breakfast or to bring it because they know that they're gonna have something at school. Tomorrow is Christmas socks. Today was popcorn. We had breakfast tacos for them. We're gonna have pizza at lunch. And again, sometimes it's a mailbox treat. You know, we can't be really extravagant every day. Our PTA is helping us out. We have an elf cart. I love the elf cart. The elf cart is when I have a golf cart at my school. I know that sounds crazy, but I do drive it around the halls, and the kids love it. And you know, whenever we have like Teacher of the Year or Paraprofessional of the Year, that kind of thing, I drive it around the halls, and the teacher or person being honored gets clapped out. I had a district winner of a spelling bee one year, and I drove that kid around in the golf cart, and the kids all line the halls. I do a quick, it's kind of like a pop-up live. This is a pop-up golf cart trip, so all the teachers bring their kids out in the halls, and they line the halls and just clap and cheer, and it is such a fun celebration thing. So we are doing an elf cart where we're delivering treats to the classrooms and delivering treats to the teachers. So we try to do something fun and special every day leading up to Christmas. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of planning, and we start planning in like September, but they love it. The comments that I get every year are, I look forward to coming to work every day because you do this for us. And you know, we have as much fun as the teachers do. So tomorrow they're getting Christmas socks. They're getting a 2020 ornament one day. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. So I like doing stuff like that for my staff because they certainly deserve it. And they're working their tails off. So you've stuck with me this far. And I'm not going to talk for much longer, but I'm going to ask a question. And all that I ask in order to be entered into Brandy and my drawing for our grand prize at the end of this month is this. What is your favorite Christmas tradition that you do with your family? I'll be talking about my Christmas traditions next week. I've just kind of been all over the map today. I really didn't know what I was going to say on the way. I was talking to Brandy on the way home, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I always end up being able to talk about, you know, some stuff. But what is your favorite Christmas tradition? Because I want to talk about that next week on my WIP and Chat, and, you know, talk to people about, you know, specific traditions that they've got at Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Let me know what your favorite tradition is, and I will be talking about mine next week. All right, guys. I am going to let you go. Again, my WIP and Chats aren't very long. Again, I don't want to bore anyone, so I make them short. So, with that being said, as I always try to remind you, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. This is the Principal Painter, and I am signing off.